Chapter 8. Investigation starts anew. So I guess we're starting over.
I cannot believe I allowed myself to fall for such a deceptive move. The killer knew I would ask for an alibi, and they knew how to cover their tracks perfectly.
So they're kind of smart.
Now, though, I have the upper hand. The killer believes that I have extinguished all avenues of my questioning. Unaware I know the truth of the fire.
And also everybody with an alibi is suddenly a suspect again.
I wish Monsieur Hastings were here. I was perhaps too harsh with him.
So you are able to self-reflect.
I know of his want for the same as I, the truth. But now I fear that I have lost him to my own tenacious demeanor.
Yeah, you need to apologize.
Now more than ever do I need my little grey cells working at full capacity. Monsieur Demire and Mademoiselle Babagna. I am glad to say that they both still have alibis, as the show had just reached its second act.
Wait, what? But they could have done that with the candle and gone to the show, right? Why? What? Also, Bebanine wasn't at the show. Wasn't it the Russian lady who went there? That he liked so much? I'm so confused.
I can be sure that neither was involved. Mademoiselle Farquhar. She claims that she was in the dark room developing pictures. And even with this new discovery, her alibi stands. Monsieur Dryden can confirm. Monsieur Christiansen, one of my key suspects, drinking alone except for a brief encounter with Monsieur Demire.
Yeah, but he is too obvious.
But Madame Allen can substantiate his trip to see her at the theater to apologize during the intermission. Which leads us to the good Madame Allen. On stage, performing. Innocent. A side note, I must make an effort to see her production. From what I have heard, she sounds quite captivating.
A side note. All right.
The Honorable Bishop Mountjoy. His Compline prayers had not yet begun, but Mademoiselle Warbeck and he were together in what I can only imagine to be an uncomfortable meeting for them both.
Wait, who's Warbeck? Who's Bebanine? Bebanine is a Russian lady, maybe? I'm confused. And Warbeck is Evelyn, the curator. I've got it wrong.
Her innocence has already been confirmed. Although upon learning of how she has been treated, I would not have been surprised.
So there's no one left?
Last but certainly not least, Monsieur Aylesworth.
Oh, that's right, I forgot about him.
And the article in a newspaper documenting his, as some see, heroic speech amongst the House of Commons is alibi enough for the murder. And where are we left now? Every suspect seemingly as innocent as they were yesterday. But when one looks most innocent, that is when Detective Poirot is most suspicious.
I mean, honestly, how dumb are you? You're standing in the street, thinking stuff to yourself, and you're raising your finger like, aha. That is so dumb. Who does that? All right, so I guess we're alone because we were kind of mean to Hastings, and I hope he's coming back, but he might not. And yeah, as always, I record my chapters one by one. So this is going to be a bit confusing for the next part because I'm going to start with this chapter and the things he just said. Otherwise, it won't make sense for you what has happened. Zachariah is here. While I'm ending my recording, but I'm ending my recording for the previous part, which is already done, previous chapter. And this rambling just won't make sense, probably. So yeah, next time, or this time, we're going to continue our investigation. And I guess we need to speak to all suspects again, and we need to figure out whose alibi has flaws in it and who is our killer, because everybody is a suspect again, apparently. So yeah, we're getting there very slowly. So just to be clear, we are playing chapter 8. I took a break in between. For you, this is going to be the same part, but for me it isn't. And it's been quite a while since I've been working ahead. So I don't remember anything. I remember we have a lot of suspects. I thought they all had alibis, and now they don't. Do we need to speak to Zachariah, maybe? Since he's here.
Finally, a face I can trust.
Don't be so sure about that.
Everything all right, Poirot?
I'm afraid things could not be further from all right.
That's a bit dramatic, isn't it?
Don't tell me the famous Detective Poirot is stumped.
I think he is.
Stumped? No. Perplexed? Oui. Perhaps you can be my perfect distraction.
Maybe he can help you think. What's that you're reading?
I may not be the celebrated doctor that my father hoped for, but I still like to keep up with recent medical journals.
And what is the latest discovery?
Oh, I need to read this apparently. Cocaine is an alkaloid extract from the leaf of the... Oh my god. Erythroxylon. Why do these games make me pronounce these impossible words? Like with discolosion, are they real words? Do they make them up? I've never heard of them. Coca plant, which usually grows in South America. Its most available common form being hydrochloride salt, which can be taken orally, intranasally, or intravenously. The peak effect ranges from 1 to 90 minutes depending on the route of administration. Cardiovascular effects of cocaine use. The most common symptom in cocaine users is chest pain, and the most common cardiac disorders is ischemia, and acute coronary syndrome, which can occur with all routes of cocaine intake. Other cardiac problems include myocarditis, cardiomyopathy, and arrhythmias. Cocaine increases heart rate, blood pressure, and myocardial contractility, all of which increase myocardial oxygen demand. With increasing availability, the number of cocaine users continues to escalate, with many finding what can be considered positive effects of the drug outweigh the potential and likely hazardous risks. Well, that's a very, how do you say it, elaborate way of saying that cocaine is addictive.
This particular article is about the effect of cocaine on the user's body. I thought I liked to have a good time, but that drug, too much for me.
What makes you say that?
I wouldn't want my heart beating at the speed of a locomotive. Here, read for yourself.
Didn't I just do that? Have you seen Monsieur Aylesworth since his heart attack? Wait, what if he's taking cocaine and that's why he had that?
I haven't actually. I gave him my office telephone number and said he could call anytime, but not a peep.
You sound surprised.
Yeah, he probably wants to keep his health issues out of the public eye. Hence me offering to help, but he seems to be just fine, surprisingly.
What if he took so much cocaine, had a heart attack, stopped doing it, and he's fine? Could that be it? You question his health?
Do you think there is a chance he could have faked it all?
Well, that's what I said from the beginning, to distract us.
How those little gray cells of yours work sometimes. Amazing!
Well, isn't that what a detective is supposed to do? Look at all options?
Please, my friend.
You're serious? Don't know why, but I suppose he could have.
At this point, anything is a possibility. I think a visit to Monsieur Aylesworth at the Royal Society of Art is in order.
I agree with that.
Mademoiselle Babagna, a pleasure as always.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Alright, she's suddenly there, apparently.
I'm afraid my pleasantries are to be cut short this morning. I have a most pressing matter.
So I don't need to speak to her? Is that what you're saying? Well, I guess we'll just go to Monsieur Aylesworth. Because that's what you want me to do. Even though, why show her to me and then won't speak to her? That's so weird. Mortimer's office. Again, this game doesn't make sense to me.
Just a moment. I'm coming.
What a great commotion coming from behind the door. What on earth is Monsieur Aylesworth up to?
Sounds like a secret passage or something.
Ah, detective. What can I do for you?
Could you spare a moment of your time? If you are feeling up to it?
Well, if he's able to shovel his furniture around, I think he might be.
Why wouldn't I?
You are recovering from a potentially fatal heart attack. I would not want to aggravate or upset you in any way.
Yeah, that's what you need to do. You need to aggravate him and see if he gets another heart attack, and then you know if it's real or not. Which maybe is a harsh method, but I think that's what Sherlock would do. Sherlock Holmes. Your movements on the night of Mademoiselle Court Smythe's death.
Are we really going over this again?
Don't be annoyed, I'm just doing my job.
It would help me clear up some discrepancies.
Very well. As I've said before, I was in the House of Commons addressing the bench, as you know. And then I was speaking with the reporter.
The editor, Nathaniel Dryden.
Oh right, that's right, he told me that.
If you say so, at the news office.
Monsieur Aylesworth is sticking to his story. I did not expect that it would be easy to unsettle a politician of his experience.
You have not contacted Monsieur Demire.
And why would I? Oh, to thank him for his help at the museum. Yes, of course. I've been meaning to send him a thank you gift.
Well, I think if you really had a heart attack, it would be normal to contact a doctor just because you're worried about your health and stuff, right?
One would think that thanking the man that saved your life would be further up your priorities.
That too?
I'm a very busy man, as I'm sure you understand. And I don't know whether I'd go as far as saying he saved my life.
Because you faked it?
On the contrary. Had Monsieur Demire not been there with his extensive medical training, and a man of your age, perhaps you would not be here talking with me today.
A man of your age, he says.
If Monsieur Aylesworth is not prepared to tell the truth, perhaps I can use his own pompous nature and guilt against him.
Why? What are you gonna do?
The nurse said herself that I had the heart of a young athlete. It'll take more than that to slow me down.
Well, I would not take that as a sign to start the sporting career.
I didn't know you could make jokes.
Merci, monsieur.
I find myself in a most problematic position. My associate, Monsieur Hastings, is nowhere to be found when I need him the most.
Well, he is at his room, didn't he say that?
There must be someone else that I can call upon. Someone to fill the shoes of Monsieur Hastings. For the time being, at least. The obvious choice would be Monsieur Demire. But I wonder if he is suited to the task that is required.
Also, you're thinking all of this for like minutes on end while you're just standing there looking at that guy. Isn't that weird? Oh, we're done, I guess. Wait, so we need to find someone to confide in, and we show up here again. But you don't want to speak to Demire. You want to confide in that lady, who is a suspect. She's very suspicious.
Good morning, mademoiselle. My apologies for my earlier departure.
I know you like her and all, but she's very, I don't know. I think she did it.
That's quite all right. Mr. Demire informed me of the facts.
Oh, that's not smart.
The case has taken a direction I had not foreseen, and it now leaves me.
I will not stand here and listen to you wallow. How can I help?
Confess. I have a rather unusual request, do you?
Go on.
I require a distraction. I promise you will come to no harm, and
Who am I to distract, and from what?
Monsieur Aylesworth, I need to gain access to his office without his watchful eye.
Detective Poirot, preparing to cross the line of law.
Not cross, merely tiptoe alongside.
I assume you have already devised a plan?
Did you?
A requested tour of the Royal Society of Art building should give me appropriate time.
Then that is what I shall do.
Ah, thanks. Didn't think this would be
The
that easy.
door has been left ajar, exactly as required. I could hear Monsieur Aylesworth fumbling around behind his door on my last visit. And combined with his hesitation to open his door to me, I can presume he had something he did not want Detective Poirot to see.
Well, it's not that hard to deduce that, is it? He's acting like he's a genius when a kid could have figured that out. Speaking with Monsieur Demire, my suspicion has only increased. Could Monsieur Aylesworth have faked his heart attack? I must speak to him. Wait, but we already did that. Wooden thump sound. Something heavy and wooden fell to the ground. Glass rattling sound. Questionable noises. Thumps, the bang of objects dropping, and gurgling sounds. Very strange. Mortimer was up to something suspicious before he enters the door. Alright, so thumps, bang of objects dropping, gurgling, glass, and a wooden thump. I guess we just need to look around. Waste paper bin.
Huh.
It would be careless not to dispose of anything incriminating, but not overly surprising. I don't even know where that is. Chess set? A beautiful chess set, although the queen is missing. That might be important. Drawer? A gun.
Ah.
One step closer to revealing the truth.
Hmm.
One must be careful with firearms around, especially when left in an unlocked drawer.
Huh.
A spoon likely from a set. ICS is engraved. That a spoon? Alright, whatever. That's the queen. The missing queen. Such an important and integral part of one's force should not be so carelessly discarded. But it's weird that it's here, isn't it? What else do we have? That's it. Bookshelf. Collection of different texts. He's certainly well read. Groove on floor. See? There's a man-made groove on the floor where the globe was positioned. There is a secret room. I knew it.
Aha.
One would usually find such furniture is filled with a variety of alcohol. So open it up. Why won't you? Do I need to think and then I can do something? Probably need to connect stuff. See 3 links. Groove on floor. Could not have been made by mistake. Just said neatly arranged. Piece appears to be missing. Is that this?
I must act on thought.
No. Queen chess piece. What about these two?
Hot on the culprit's heels.
A fallen queen, almost as disastrous as a fallen king. Chess set was knocked over. Is that this?
Things are beginning to become clearer.
How clumsy of him. Monsieur Ellsworth knocked the chess set over on his way to answer the door. Alright. Bookshelf. Collection of different desks. Texts. Alcohol and glass, maybe?
Another success.
Monsieur Ellsworth moved the globe, causing the bottles inside to rattle. Globe moved. With groove on floor.
Come now. Think on what...
Oh, sorry. What about this? Just knocked over on way to answer door. Questionable noises?
Order and method.
Alright.
I should consider this.
Why these two? Moved globe, causing bottles, and bookshelf. Oh, wait. Groove on floor. I don't know.
Voila.
It's possible Monsieur Ellsworth was up to something by the bookshelf. Well, yeah, duh. This game is so dumb. Alright, so we're going there. Why do you need to link? Because everything is so obviously when you need to link stuff, and then the bookshelf and the globe, you need to link those. When the text explaining it makes no sense to link those two. It's frustrating to me. When I return home, I shall check every bookshelf and crevice of the house. It appears almost mandatory to have a hidden room. What this one withholds, I can only imagine. The wicked and banal smell of English tea.
Put your hands up and step away from there.
Monsieur, there is no need.
Enough of your phony pleasantries. Let's see what the real police have to say.
Does he have the painting?
The first thing they would notice is the politician aiming his revolver at an officer while they are conducting official police business.
I'm sure they would agree. I have every right to protect myself from a foreign intruder.
If you were to lower the gun, perhaps we could discuss the situation we find ourselves in.
You may have authority in your own country, but not here. Now, explain yourself.
It appears I must choose my words carefully here. Well, I'm not good at that. So I can say, what is your plan now? You have an officer of the law, a visitor to your country held at gunpoint in your office. I encourage you to call the authorities. Perhaps they would be interested to take a look around themselves. I'm sure the newspapers would be most enthralled to hear the story of a politician that faked a heart attack in the name of insurance fraud. I think the first one.
You don't know what you're talking about.
If that is true, why am I here? There are no victims to your crimes. You still have the chance to end it here. There's no coming back from what may come next if you don't drop the gun.
Enough! I need a second to think about all this.
Is he gonna kill me?
How has it all come to this?
So you did it.
No, it's not my fault. It's...
It is not too late. Your intentions were good. Scotland Yard will look sympathetically at...
If you had just left that fool Hardwick to it, we wouldn't be here, and I wouldn't have to do this.
I have done nothing but remain honorable to my oath to uphold the law. It is Monsieur's choices and actions that have brought us to this point. And he must accept responsibility for what is to come.
Oops.
Poirot, are you all right?
All the better for seeing you, Hastings.
I was worried I was going to miss him.
Your timing and accuracy could not have been more perfect.
What do we do now?
We take our leave.
And what about him? Will he be okay?
He shall be fine. Although I am not envious of the sore head he will awake to. Come, there is much to tell.
Are we gonna look behind the bookshelf?
Behind the bookshelf? But I never.
I wanna see. Don't skip over the most
Monsieur
important thing.
Dryden, how are you?
Why don't we just... Oh my god, alright, I'm not gonna say anything, let's just continue.
Detective
Poirot.
Yes, of course. What can I do for you?
Is Mademoiselle Farquhar working today?
She is, but not here, I'm afraid.
Do you know where she is?
She said something about heading back to the museum.
Would you allow us access into your darkroom?
For what, exactly?
Because we're detectives.
Forgive me. I recently inherited a number of belongings from a deceased relative, including an undeveloped spool of film.
I'd like to help, but there isn't anyone here that could develop them for you.
I am more than capable, and I'll leave it tidier than when we arrived.
In that case, knock yourselves out. I've got a meeting to run to anyway. I shouldn't be longer than half an hour or so.
Pardon. Where has this confident and daring version of Monsieur Hastings been hidden?
We all have a hidden side. It's just our own choice of when to show it.
Does that mean you forgave me for being...
So, our first step is...
Don't tell me there is something the great Detective Poirot doesn't know.
I must concede that photography is something I have little experience in.
Lucky I'm here, then. We need to start with a tray filled with developing fluid. Next, pour the fixer fluid into another tray and then add the photographic paper.
I have a newfound respect for those that make such activities look so simple.
Let's just wait until we see the results. It shouldn't take long.
I shall use my time wisely and see what truths this room may hold. Also, are we not gonna talk about our fight? We're just gonna act like it never happened. Radio? Music can make even the most laborious tasks more manageable. Window? I don't see a window.
Aha.
Oh, it's painted shut. Well, you need the dark room to be dark, so that's why. Light switch.
Huh.
Must remain off when developing photographs so as not to damage them. Very true. Hat.
Oh.
Mademoiselle Farquhar has a head that looks almost identical to the one Mademoiselle Court Smythe wore to the gala. I knew I had seen that style of hat somewhere before. Interesting. Trace? A tray for liquid relating to the development process. What's this? I want to look at this. Can I not? Cupboard. Under sink.
Mm-hmm. Ah.
Unlabeled bottle. No label. Infuriating. I will never understand how people can work in such amateur fashions. This one? I can't take it.
Oh.
Oh, I can. I always want to know what is inside if it doesn't have the appropriate information. The answer was staring me in the face. Wait, what? Why do you say that? Photographic developer. Essential. Apparently it's added. Photo paper. Also added. I believe this is for producing photographic prints. I can use it. Paper? Alright, that's that. Now we need to use the trays, I think. But they're both unlabeled. So I don't know. Where's the sense in that, he says. What about this? Is what is required. Voila. That's done. Now what? Do we need to ask Hastings? Does he know?
Have you found it yet?
Unlabeled bottles.
You want the photographic fixer?
And how would one know it from another?
It smells like ammonia. Handy, I suppose, when you can't see much in here.
Bitter almonds, the distinct smell of potassium cyanide. Ammonia, just as Monsieur Hastings said. Mademoiselle Farquhar had access to the same poison that killed Mademoiselle Court Smythe. One does not believe in coincidences. We must discuss her.
We've already been over this, Poirot. I don't want to argue.
I have no intentions of continuing our previous conversation. What we must address now is her potential guilt.
So we are gonna fight, eventually.
She didn't steal the painting, though. We know that.
Her guilt in Mademoiselle Court Smythe's murder.
She could be our murderer. Would Mr. Dryden not have seen Miss Farquhar leave? Hat looks almost identical. Radio. What about this one? Oh, now I get this. Could have exited the dark room via window, though it appears at first to be completely painted over. The window opens, allowing someone to slip easily in and out without being detected.
Mr. Poirot, you are a genius.
Really? Don't you love her and don't want her to be guilty? Did Mr. Dryden say he never heard anything happen? I don't know. Did he say that? Radio?
Mr. Poirot, you are a genius.
Would Miss Golsham not have spotted Miss Farquhar entering the flat? What about the hat?
That would never have even occurred to me. I've got a lot to learn. Look, this photograph is just about finished.
What is it? What am I looking
Is that?
at?
It appears so.
And what has she got in her hand? That can't be the same cigarette case.
So she's guilty after all.
The cigarette case that was taken from Mademoiselle Farquhar's luggage on our voyage here. It appears Mademoiselle Farquhar had a much closer relationship with Mademoiselle Court Smythe. I would say they...
Siblings?
Cousins.
Oh, cousins.
Oui, monsieur. Hastings, I must thank you.
For what? Allowing myself to be enticed by Miss Farquhar's feminine nature.
Like Poirot didn't do that with that Babanine. It's exactly the same, only he's lucky that she's innocent.
For saving me from whatever Monsieur Aylesworth and his revolver had planned.
Oh, I forgot about that.
If it wasn't for me licking my wounds, you wouldn't have been there alone in the first place.
Yeah, but you did save me, and that's what matters.
And if you were, and not at the Cotsmide estate, we would never have made such revelations. You are one of the most honest and authentic fellows I have met. You cannot allow a misguided moment of red-blooded male instinct to taint that.
Red-blooded male instinct. So funny how he, I don't know, says things.
You have never let yourself fall to the wicked ways of the fairer sex.
No. And that is a day I cannot even fathom.
I agree with that. Chapter 9. Thank you for watching. Curious what happens next? Subscribe to my page so you don't miss anything.